Hi everyone, in this video I am going to solve Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 4 Extended in a session October-November 2023 Paper 4-2. So let's start with the first question. Question number 1, part A, number 1, translate triangle T by the vector -7, 1, label the image K. -7 is the horizontal translation and 1 is the vertical translation. So horizontal translation, it means we have to move 7 units left and 1 unit up. So let's see, 7 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 1 up. The image point is going to be -5 and 3. This point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 1 up, -1, 3. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 1 up, which is -1, 5. And we have to name the image K. This is the triangle K. Now for the second part of A, describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle K onto triangle T. So triangle K onto triangle T, how can you map K onto T? So K onto T is the translation, and the translation is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units right and 1 unit down. So 7 and -1. So the transformation is a translation. 7 units right and 1 unit down. So in terms of vector, you can write down the translation. Horizontal translation is +7 because we are moving to the right, and the vertical translation is -1 because we are moving down. Now for part B, reflect triangle T in a line y equals to 4. So first let me draw the line y equals to 4. Y equals to 4 is this line. All right, now let me reflect this triangle T. So there is 0 unit distance from the line of reflection, so it means the reflected image should also, this coordinate lies on the line. This is 1 and 2 units, so 2 units. This is 2 units, so this is gonna be 2 unit. So that is the reflected image of triangle T. Now for part C, rotate triangle T through 90-degree clockwise about origin. Origin is 0, 0. So when we are doing rotation and it is 90-degree and clockwise, so the XY coordinates according to the formula changes to y and -x when it is about origin. This formula only valid for the origin, right? Okay, so we have 6, this coordinate 2 and 2. This coordinate is 2, 2. This coordinate is 6, 2. And this is 6, 4. So these coordinates changes to 2 and -2, y and -x. Y is 2, x is -6, 4 and -6. The new coordinates. 2 -2, this point. 2 and -6 is this point. 4 and -6 is this point. So this is going to be the reflection, rotation, 90-degree clockwise about origin. So whenever you have a rotation of 90-degree clockwise about origin, you have to change the coordinates by the formula. XY changes to y and -x. Now for part D, number 1, enlarge triangle T by the scale factor -1/2, center is 0, 0, label the image P, and the scale factor is -1/2. We have a center origin and the scale factor is -1/2. So what we have to do for enlargement, we have to find the distance. So 1 unit and 2 units right and 2 up. From the center, this coordinate distance is 2 right and 2 up. Times it by the scale factor -1/2. So that is going to be -1 -1. Now for this coordinate, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 6 right and 2 up, 6 right and 2 up, times by -1/2, the scale factor. So this is 2 times 3 is 6, -3 and -1. Now this coordinate is 6 right and 1 2 3 4 up, 6 right and 4 up, times by the scale factor -1/2. So that is gonna be -3 and -2. Right. So now the new distances we have. So for this coordinate, from the center we have to move 1 unit left and 1 down. So the new coordinate is -1 -1. -3 and -1. From the center, -3. So 3 units left and 1 down. -3 -1. And this is -3 2. From the center, 3 units left and 2 units down. So -3 and -2. So this is the triangle P. We have to name the image P. Now you will get a smaller triangle, you can see, because the scale factor is half, 1/2, and it is negative. So the scale factor is minus. So it means you are getting the image on the opposite side of the center. So if the scale factor is same, the image, the original triangle and the image triangle are on the same side of the center. Since the scale factor is negative, so the image triangle, the original one, and the images on opposite side of each other. Now for the second part, describe fully the single transformation that maps P onto T. All right, how can you map P onto T? P onto T is obviously, this is an enlargement. The scale factor is now -2, and the center is the same, right? So we are moving, we are mapping triangle P onto triangle T. So P onto T, obviously you can see the size is different, so this is an enlargement. All right, the center stays the same because we already did T onto P, which is the origin. This is 0 0, right? Now the scale factor has the formula. For the, according to the scale factor, we have to do, this is now the my image and this is my original. According to the second part of D, the image is 2 units, the original is 1 unit. So image triangle over the original triangle, so that is going to be 2. But you can see the original and the image both are on the opposite side of the center of enlargement, so it is negative. So this is an enlargement with a scale factor of -2, and the center of enlargement is 0 0. Question number 2, part A. Daisy records her 50 homework marks. The table shows the results, the homework marks, and the frequency. Number 1, write down the range. Range is the difference between the highest and the lowest value, the difference between the maximum and the minimum. So the homework marks, the maximum marks are 20 and the minimum marks are 15. So the difference between 20 and 15. So 20 take away 15 is equals to 5. So 5 is the range. Number 2, write down the mod. Mod is the highest frequency. So which is the highest frequency? 1, 3, 19, 11, 10, and 6. 19 is the highest frequency and it comes at 17 homework marks. So 17 is the mod. Now for part 3, find the median. So for median, if we have scattered data, we have to arrange the values from lowest to highest, and then we have to pick the middle one, that would be the median. But here we have to use a cumulative frequency technique. So for median, what we have to do, we have half of the value is the median. So half of the total is 50. Half of 50 is 25. So 25 is the median. So let's see where 25 comes. For this, we have to find the cumulative frequency. So here the cumulative frequency is 1. 1 plus 3 would be 4. And 4 plus 19, that is 23. 23 plus 11 is 34. 34 plus 10 is 44. And 44 plus 6 is 50. This is the cumulative frequency, right? We have to check where 25 comes. 25 is in this range because 1, 4, 23 is less, and this lies in 34 range. So the 25 lies in when the homework marks are 18. So that is my median. Now for part 4, calculate the mean. Mean is the sum of fx dividing by the total. Okay, so f is the frequency. Let's say x is the homework marks. What is fx? The product. 1 times 15 is 15. 3 times of 16, 48. 19 times 17 is 323. 11 times 18 is 198. 10 times 19 is 190. And 6 times 20 is 120. This is fx. And what is the sum of fx? Add all of them. 15 plus 48 plus 323 plus 198 plus 190 plus 120, which is 894. So let me plug into the formula. So that is 894 divided by the total marks are 50. Divides 50, which is 17.88 is the mean. Now for part B, the list shows each results in 11 tests. Number 1, complete the stamp and leaf diagram to show this information. And the key we have given 2 and 5 represent 25, right? So let me check with 1, 21, 33, 20, 25, 21. With 1 we have 18, 1 and 8. We have just 118. Now 21, 20, 25, 21, 22, 21, 20. So we have 20. 2 times we have 20. 0 and 0. Check 21, 21, 21, 21. 3 times we have 21. And then 22 and 25. Now with 30, what we have? 33, 34 and 30. So first it comes 30 and then 33 and then 34. Now for the second part, find the median. Median is again the middle value of the data we can check. So these are the 11 tests. So we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 1. So 21 is the median, the middle value of the data. That is 21. So 2 and 1. Now for the third part, find the interquartile range. Interquartile range is the difference between the upper quartile and the lower quartile. Okay, so let me use the formula for the interquartile range. The upper quartile and the lower quartile, since we have the total data are 11, the values are 11, so they're odd. So it has, upper quartile has a formula 3 by 4 of n minus 1th term. Sorry, n plus 1th term, and minus 1 by 4 of n plus 1th term. Upper quartile is 3 by 4th of n plus 1, and lower quartile is 1 by 4th of n plus 1. N is 11, so 11 plus 1, that is 12. So 3 by 4 of 12th value minus 1 by 4 of the 12th value. Let me calculate. 3 by 4 of 12 is 9th value we have to pick, minus 1 by 4 of 12 is 3rd value. Okay, pick the 9th one. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So this is 30. 30th value is the 9th value. 30 is the 9th value, and the third is 1 2 3. 20 is the third value. So 30 take away 20 is 10. 10 is the interquartile range. And for median, you can also use this formula as well, since median is the half of the value. So half of n plus 1 you can use, because when the data is odd, the number of values are odd, we have to use n plus 1. When they are even, we are using n. Half of, because in the first A part we use half of n, half of 50. So we got the median, which is 25, right? Now we have the values are even, which are 11. Before the values are 50, which are even, and now we have 11, the values are odd. So half of n plus 1 term we are using, so half of 12 term, that is equals to 6th term we have to use. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, which is 1 2 1, 21 is the median. I hope this makes sense now. Question number 3, part A. The value of Priya's car decreased by 10% every year. The value today is $7,695. Number 1, calculate the value of the car after 1 year. So today the value is this, and each year there is a 10% decrease. So we have to 1 year, so decrease of 10%. What is 7695 of 10%? So that is 10% of 7695. That is 769.5. 769.5. Now let me find out the value of the car after 1 year. This is a 10% decrease. From the value today, we have to subtract the decrease. So 7695 subtract answer, which is 6,925.5 dollars, right? So as we know that the value today is this much, and each year there is a decrease of 10%. So first we have to find what is the 10% of this, and from the total we have to subtract the decrease of 10%. So we will get the value of the car after 1 year. Now for second part, calculate the value of the car 1 year ago. So the value of the car 1 year ago, so now we are in second year, right? So this is the value of the car today, and after 1 year 10% reduction is this, and 1 year ago. So let's say 7,695, this is equals to, we can say, 90%. This is not 100% now. Why it is 90%? Because this is the value of the car today, and after a deduction of 1 year, so from 100% subtract 1 year, that is going to be 90%, and there is some value 1 year ago in the second year, and that is 100%. Now let me do the cross multiplication. So 7695 multiplied by 100% equals to x multiplied by 90%. So 7695 multiplied by 100% over 90%, that is equals to my x. Let me calculate this. 7695 times 100 divided by, 7695 times 100 and divided by 90, which is $885. $8,550. Now for the part B, Ali invests $600 at a rate of 2% per year simple interest. Calculate the value of Ali's investment at the end of 5 years. So this is the simple interest. So we have to use the formula for simple interest. A equals to P into 1 plus RD. We have to find the value of Ali's investment. So the investment is 600. A we have to calculate. 1 plus interest rate is 2% and the time is 5 years. Just simplify. 2 out of 100 times by 5, add 1 times by 600. 660 is the value of his investment. Now for part C, Sarah invests $500 at a rate of 4% per year compound interest. At the end of 12 years, the value of Sarah's investment is this much. Correct to the nearest cent. Find the value of R. So using the formula of compound interest, A equals to P into 1 plus R, its power is T. So amount we have given is $601.35. Investment is $500. 1 plus R we have to calculate and T is 12 years. Let me simplify. 601.35 divided by 500. This is 1 plus R, power is 12. So 601.35 divides 500 is 1.2027. This is 1 plus R. Its power is 12. So taking the 12th root on both sides, or power 1 by 12 on both sides. Now this power is going to be 1 by 12. So 12 is cancelled with this 12. So 1 plus R equals to 1.0155. Alright. Now to get the value of R, we have to subtract it. 1.0155 minus 1. Shifting the 1 on the other side, it becomes minus 1. So this is R is equals to 0.0155. Alright, we have to find the R in terms of percentage, because we have to find R in terms of percent. So we have to times it by 100. So times by 100, which is 1.54 or 1.55. R is the 1.55 is the interest rate. Now for part D, the mass of a radioactive substance decreases exponentially at a rate of 3% each year. Number 1, find the overall percentage decrease at the end of 10 days. We have to calculate the overall percentage decrease at the end of 10 days. So this is exponentially decreasing. Okay, so whenever we have a question of exponentially, so it means we have to use a compound interest formula, because it has the power of t exponentially, right? So we have the formula for compound interest, which is A amount equals to investment into 1 plus R percent, and it's t. So this is exponentially. All right, so we have to calculate the overall percentage decrease. So means we have to calculate the amount. So what is the initial one? The mass of radioactive substance decreases exponentially at a rate of 3% each day. So each day it is decreasing at the rate of 3%. So it means initially it was 100%, because it will be decreasing. Is yet to decrease, but it is not decreasing on the first day. On the second day it will decrease 3%, and then 3%, and then so on. So initially it is just 100%. So I'm writing 100 at P, and 1 I'm not doing plus, I have to do minus because it is decreasing, and R is 3% and T is 10 days. Let me calculate the amount. So that is 3 over 100. 1 subtract answer. Its power is 10. and times by 100. That is 73.74. So this is the amount, 73.74. All right, now we have to calculate, find the overall percentage. This is not the answer. We have to calculate the overall percentage decrease at the end of 10 days. So here we got the amount, but we have to find the overall percentage decrease at the end of 10 days. So the overall, it means from initially it was 100%. The initially was 100%, and after 10 days it is decreased to the amount you are getting, 73.7 days 74. So initially it was 100% and minus that is the amount, that is 73.74. so the overall percentage decrease is from 100% subtract 73.74, that is going to be 63.26. so 23.26 and 26.3% up to 3 significant figures. Let me explain one more time. So in this type of questions, mostly students get confused. So whenever you have a question of exponentially, you have to use a formula for compound interest, because in compound interest formula we have something power t in exponential form we have, right? So amount we have to calculate. So we have given that the mass of radioactive substance decrease exponentially. For decrease I put the negative sign, and the rate is 3% we have given, but we don't have given the initial amount. So if we think logically that each day it is decreasing by 3%, so means on the first day it is 100%, and then decrease 3% on the second day, and on the third day it's 6%, on the fourth day it is 9%, and so on. So initially on the first day it is 100%. So the initial value I used 100%. Now I got the amount. Now if we think logically again, we have to find the overall percentage decrease at the end of 10 days. So overall percentage decrease means initially it was 100%, and subtracting the amount we will get the overall percentage decrease after 10 days. I hope this makes sense now. Now for the second part, find the number of whole days it takes until the mass of this substance is 1/2 of its original amount. We use the original amount as A, right? So it is P, 1/2 of P. All right, so we have the same question, that the mass of radioactive substance decrease exponentially at the rate of 3% per year. So it is decreasing exponentially. Again, I'm using the compound interest formula. So first we have given that the amount is half of the original we use as P. I label the original as P. You can label with any variable. So we have given the information. We have to find the number of whole days. We have to find the number of days basically until the mass of this substance is 1/2 of its original. So this equation we have given that the amount is going to be half of the original. All right, and what we have given in the question, that amount is equals to P into 1 minus 3% of T. This is the second equation. All right, let me explain one more time. We have the same question. We have the second part of the same question. So it is again exponentially, so using the same formula of compound interest. So what we have given, that the amount is half of the original, right? Original, I label it with P in the first part, so I'm using the same variables, and we have given it is decreasing exponentially at a rate of 3%. All right, so let me do the comparison and solving for the variable, solving for T. So from here we have P into 1 minus 3/100 T. This is going to be half of P. So we can cancel the P on both sides and solving for T. So what is 3/100 and 1 minus answer? This is 0.97. So this is 0.97, its power is T, and this is equals to 1/2. Now we have to solve for T, so taking log on both sides. So we can say T log 0.97 equals to log of 1/2. So when we are applying log on both sides, so the power comes before the log. So what is t? T is going to be log of half over the log of 0.97. Let me calculate this. Log of half divides log 0.97, 22.7. So t is 22.7 days. We have to find the number of whole days. Round it, so that is 23 days. Question number 4, part A. The diagram shows a sector of a circle that is made into a cone by joining OA and OB. Okay, OAB this is a sector of a circle, and this diagram is a sector of a circle that is made into a cone by joining OA to OB. Means when we join OA with OB, we will get a cone. The sector angle is x degree and the radius of the sector is 7.5 centimeter. The base radius of the cone is 1.5 centimeter. Calculate the value of x. All right. So as you can see, this AB is the arc length of the sector of a circle, and now AB is the circumference of a circle when it is a cone. So we can say that arc length, which equals to circumference. This is arc length. Arc length becomes the circumference. So using the formula, arc length has a formula x degree over 360 degree into 2 pi r, and circumference have a formula 2 pi r. Right. Now we can cancel 2 pi with 2 pi. We have to solve for x degree. So x degree over 360 degree into r, the radius, that is 7.5 centimeter, and this is equals to the radius is 1.5 centimeter. Let me solve for x, which is equals to 1.5 divides 7.5 and times by 360. I divided both sides by 7.5 and then multiplied by 360. All right, let me simplify. 1.5 divides 7.5 and times by 360, that is equals to 72 degrees. So that angle is 72 degree. Moving to part B, the diagram shows a cylinder with a radius 8 centimeter. All right, so this is the cylinder and the radius of a cylinder is 8 centimeter. The radius is this. This is a radius from the center, and this is the radius of the cylinder, and that is 8 centimeter. Inside a sphere, that cylinder is inside the sphere with a radius 17 centimeter. The radius of a sphere is 17 centimeter. That is the sphere. Its radius is 17 centimeter. Both ends of a cylinder touches the curved surface of the sphere. Both end of the cylinder that touches the curved both surfaces of the cylinder, both ends of the cylinder, they touch the curved surface of a sphere. Number 1, show that the height of the cylinder is 30 centimeter. We have to calculate the height of the cylinder. All right. So as you can see, this is the center of a sphere, and that center to the surface, that is the radius. So we can say that from the center to that surface, that is also the radius 17. From center to that surface, this is also the radius, which is 17. All right. From center to any point on the sphere is the radius. So if I connect these points, if I can say connecting these, so you will get a right angle triangle. All right, so this is 8, this is 17. Applying a Pythagoras theorem to get this is the height 1 and this is height 2, and add up both heights, we will get the height of the cylinder, h1 plus h2. All right, so let me apply the Pythagoras theorem to solve for h1 and h2. So according to Pythagoras theorem, c square would be equals to a square plus b square. C is the hypotenuse, a and b are the other two sides of the triangle. So the first triangle, we have 17 square equals to 8 square plus b square. Now what is b? So b square, this is gonna be, b is over here, shifting it on the other side, 17 square minus 8 square. 17 square minus 8 square, that is equals to 225. So b equals to square root of 225. Square root of answer, that is equals to 15. So b is 15. B is basically h1. So this h1 is 15, this is also 15, because both are the same. This is 8 and 17. So both are 15 and 15. So what is the height of the cylinder? So we can say the height of the cylinder is the sum of h1 and h2, which is 15 plus 15, that is equals to 30 centimeter. So we have showed that the height of the cylinder is 30 centimeter. Now for second part, calculate the volume of a cylinder as a percentage of the volume of a sphere. So we have given the formula. This is the formula for volume of a sphere. Volume of cylinder is V equals to pi r square h, and volume of a sphere is V equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube. So we have that volume of a cylinder as a percentage of volume of sphere. So first calculate the volume of a cylinder. That is equals to pi. The radius of a cylinder we have given. The radius of a cylinder is 8 and height of the cylinder is 30. The radius is 8 square and 30. So this is 30 times 8 times 8, which is 1920 pi. So 1920 pi. This is in centimeter square. Cube. Now volume of sphere, that is 4 by 3 pi, and radius of a sphere we have given, that is equals to 17. You can see 17 centimeters, so 17 cube. So 17 cube multiplied by 4 divided by 3, that is 655 centimeter pi cube. All right, now let me calculate the percentage. Volume of a cylinder is, we are calculating the percentage, 1920 pi over volume of a sphere is 655 pi times by 100. So pi is cancelled with pi. So we can say 1920 divided by answer, that is going to be 0.29 times by 100, 29.31. 29.31%. Now for part C, the diagram shows a solid sphere with a radius 6 centimeter. This is a solid sphere and its radius is 6 centimeter. This is the radius of the sphere. This is 6 centimeter. Inside a cube, this is a cube, length 20 centimeter. So each side of the cube is 20 centimeter. The cube contains water to the depth of 15 centimeter. This cube is filled with water and the depth of the water is 15 centimeter. The sphere is removed. You have to remove the sphere. Calculate the new depth of the water. We have to calculate the new depth. We have given the volume of a sphere formula. All right. So if we imagine the situation that we have a box shaped like a cube, and you have to place some, and it is filled with water, and you have to place some sphere inside of it. It means the level of the water or the depth of the water increase when we put something, some ball or some sphere in it. And when we remove it, it means the depth of the water is decreased, means it should be less than 15. So what we have to do, we have to find the volume of a sphere and volume of this cube, not the volume of cube, volume of the water inside the cube. And we have to subtract from the cube, we have to subtract the sphere because sphere is removed. So we will get the volume of the water inside the cube without sphere, and then we can easily find out the depth. So let me calculate the volume of sphere which is inside the cube. 4 by 3 pi radius cube. Radius is 6 cube. So that is going to be 6 cube times 4 divided by 3, 288 pi centimeter cube. Now let me calculate the volume of water inside the cube. So volume of a cube is length into width into height, right? So length, width and height. Length is 20, width is 20, and the depth is 15 when the water is inside. So 20 into 20 into 15, this is 6,000 centimeter cube. All right. Now what we're gonna do is the sphere is removed. All right. Now to get the volume of the water, inside the cube without sphere. When you remove the sphere, that is equals to the volume of water inside the cube, which is 6,000. You have to subtract the sphere volume, which is equals to 288 pi. So 6,000 subtract 288 pi, 5,095.2. This is 5,095.22 centimeter cube. That is the volume of the water inside the cube without sphere, when you remove the sphere. Now the basic question is we have to find the new depth of the water when the sphere is removed. All right, so we know that the volume of a cube is length, width and height. So now the new volume of the cube we got this, which is 5095.22. that is equals to length remains the same, width is the same, we have to find out the height. So to calculate the value of height, what is h? 5095.22, we have to divide 20 times 20, which is 400, divides 400. This is 12.738, 12.74 centimeter. That is the height, the new depth of the water. Question number 5, part A. In a shop, the cost of a fiction book is $X and the cost of reference book is X plus $2. The cost of 11 fiction book is the same as the cost of 10 reference book. Find the value of X. So make an equation. The cost of 11 fiction books is the same as a cost of 10 reference book. Let me solve for X. This is 11x equals to 10x plus 10 times 2 is 20. From 11x take away 10x, that is equals to 20. So here x is equals to 20. Now for part B, in another shop the cost of fiction book is Y and the cost of reference book is Y plus 2. Maria spent $95 on fiction book and $147 on reference book. She buys a total of 12 books. Number 1, show that. So we have given that she buys a total of 12 books, means the fiction books and the reference book, the total are 12 books. So we have given the cost of fiction book and she spent the cost of each fiction book is Y and she spent 95 on the fiction books, but we don't know how many fiction books she bought. So to calculate the number of books, we can say, if I write down, so the main concept or the logic over here is to get the number of fiction books. How many fiction books? She spent 95 on fiction book and the cost of each fiction book is Y. Or let me explain you that if I bought 10 books and if the cost of each book is 10 and I spent $120 on to get those 10 books, but I don't know how many books I bought. So what we have to do, if I spend $120 and got 10 books, right? So to get the number of books, how many books I bought, so I bought 12 books. So this is a logic that I would like to explain you guys, that if you she spent $95 on the fiction books, but we don't know how many fiction books she bought, and we have given that the price of each fiction book is Y, right? So if you spend $120 on books and the price of each book is $10, so you can easily tell me how many books you got, that is 12. All right, I hope this is clear now. So the fiction books are 95. She spent $95 on the fiction book, and the cost of each fiction book is Y. So here you can easily find out how many fiction books she bought. Plus the reference book price is she spent $147 on reference books, and the price of each is Y plus 2, and the total are 12 because she bought the total books are 12. So the fiction books and the reference book and the total are 12. Now this is a main concept in this question. Now just algebraic multiplication, you have to do cross multiplication. 95 is multiplying with Y plus 2, and plus 147 is multiplying with Y. This is multiplying with Y. Take an LCM. In the denominator we have Y into Y plus 2, and we have 12. All right, so this is 95Y plus 95 times 2, which is 190. 190 plus 147Y, this is equals to 12Y into Y plus 2. So 97Y and 95 and 147Y, this is 242Y. 242Y plus 190, this is equals to 12Y square, and 2 times of 12 is 24. This is plus 24Y. Shifting all the terms to the right side, so this becomes 0 over here. We have 12Y square plus 24Y. These two terms becomes negative because we are shifting, so minus 242Y and minus 190. 242, 242 minus 24, this becomes, so this is equals to 12Y square and minus 218Y and minus 190, this is equals to 0. But we have to convert this into 6Y square. So we have to make the Y square coefficient 6. So dividing by 2, because 2 times 6 would be 12. So dividing throughout the equation by 2. So here you guys will get 12Y square divided by 2 minus 218Y divided by 2 minus 190 divided by 2 equals to 0 divided by 2. 12 divided by 2, that is 6. So we have 6Y square. 218 divided by 2, that is minus 109Y. And this is 109Y, yes. 190 divided by 2 is 95. So minus 95, and 0 divided by 2 is 0. So we have showed this quadratic equation. Now for the second part, we have to factorize it. Okay, you can solve by factorization. Okay, because the question is factorized, not applying the quadratic formula. So let me find out the factors. 6 times 95, that is 6 times of 95 is 570. We have to make the factors of 570. 6 times of 95, that is equals to 570. All right. Let me check with 2 times table. 570 dividing by 2, it means 2 times 285 is 570. But if you add or subtract 285 with 2, you are not getting the middle term. Okay, 570 divided by 3. 3 times 190. And 190 plus 3, 190 minus 3, we are not getting the middle term. Let me check with 4. 570 divided by 4. This is not divisible. 570 divided by 5. 5 times 114 is 570, and 5 minus 114, that is 109. Yes, we got the factor. 5 times 114 is 570, and this is with negative. 5 minus 114, you are getting minus 109. Let me break the midterm. So this is 6y square. We have plus 5y minus 114y minus 95. So from here, let me take y common. We are left with 6y plus 5. Okay, so taking, how can we make 95 as 5? Which number we have to common? So 95, wait, we have to make this 6. So 114 divides 2, 114 divides 3, 114 divides 4, 114 divides 6, we will get 19. So minus 19, let me take minus 19 common. So 114 divided by 6 is 19. 114 divides 19, you will get 6. Y, and plus 95 divided by 19 is 5. These are the same. So 6y plus 5 is the factor, and y minus 19 is another factor. 6y plus 5 and y minus 19. Alright, now for part 3, find the value of y. We have to solve for y. So we can say 6y plus 5 equals to 0, and from here y equals to negative 5 out of 6, and the other y minus 19 equals to 0, and from here y equals to 19. So which value of y we are using? As you can see, y is the cost we have given, so cost never be negative. So we are not using the negative one, we are using the positive one, because cost never be negative. Cost is always a positive quantity. Question number 6. The diagram shows a right angle triangle. Find the value of w. So w is unknown and t is also unknown, right? So let me apply the Pythagoras theorem to solve for t. So we can say that the hypotenuse is 2t plus 3, its square, equals to 5 square plus t square. So open the square, a plus b square. We have a formula a plus b whole square, that is equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square. This formula I'm applying over here. A is my 2t and b is my 3. So we can say 2t whole square plus 2 into 2t into 3 plus 3 square. 5 square is 25 plus t square. This is 4t square. 2 times 2 is 4 and 4 times 3 is 12. So it is 12t plus 3 square is 9 minus 25 and minus t square. I shift all the terms to the left side. Yes, 4t square and minus t square, that would be 3t square. And we have plus 12t. And from 9 take away 25, that is 9 minus 25 is minus 16. Negative of 16, this is equals to 0. Alright, so we have a quadratic equation. Let me solve this to get the value of t. So apply the quadratic formula. So t is equals to negative of b value plus minus square root b square minus 4a and the c value, the square root, and divided by 2 times of a value, which is 3. So that is negative of 12 plus minus, negative times negative is positive, 4 times 3 times 16, and add 12 square, and the square root of answer is 4 square root of 21. 4 square root of 21. This is divided by 2 times of 3 is 6. Alright, so let me find the value of t. Minus 12 plus 4 square root of 21 divided by 6. So t is minus 1 So we have t is equals to 1.056 and minus 12 minus 4 square root of 21 divided by 6, that is t is equals to negative 5.056. all right, so which t we are going to choose over here? So since t is the dimension, right, so it never be negative. Dimensions are not negative. It is a length or the width of the triangle, so it is not negative. That is the height of the triangle, and it is using on the hypotenuse of the triangle as well, so it never be negative. So we have to pick the positive one, and the positive one is, this is 1.06 centimeter. all right, so we got the value of t. So easily find out the value for w. So which trigonometric ratio? You can use any trigonometric ratio which is opposite over hypotenuse. You can use a tangent, because all the three sides we have given. You can use sine, cos, or tangent. So I'm using tangent over here. So I can say tan w is opposite is my t, and the hypotenuse is my 5. So let me solve for w. So w is going to be tangent inverse of t is equals to 1.06 over 5. Let me simplify. 1.06 divided by 5, and tangent inverse of answer, that is 11.96. W is 11.9. 11.9 degrees. Question number 7, part A. The diagram shows a right angle triangle PQR. P, Q, and R is a right angle triangle on the horizontal ground. X is vertically above R. All right. And the angle of elevation of X from P is 21 degree. Angle of elevation of X from P is 21 degree. This angle is 21. All right. XR is 2.8 and RQ is 7.1. Number 1, calculate the angle of elevation of X from Q. So from Q we have to calculate the angle of elevation. This angle we have to calculate. Let me draw this diagram separately. So a right angle triangle we have. The right angle is at R, this is Q, and this is 7.1, this is X, this is 2.8. We have to find this angle theta. So opposite over adjacent, using the ratio of tangent, we can say tan theta, the opposite is 2.8 and the adjacent side is 7.1. So what is theta? Theta is tangent inverse of 2.8 over 7.1. Let me simplify this. 2.8 divides 7.1, and tangent inverse of answer, this is 21.5 degrees. We got that angle. Now for the second part, calculate PQ. This length we have to calculate. So for this we have QR, but we don't know PR. So let me solve for PR first. Consider the triangle PR and X. Let me draw over here. This is again a right angle triangle. So the right angle is at R. We have P and this is X. This length is 2.8 and this angle is 21 degree. All right. So this angle we have to find PR. So what we gonna do? Again, using a ratio of tangent of 21 degree is equals to opposite is 2.8 and the adjacent is PR. Let me solve for PR by doing a cross multiplication. So PR is going to be 2.8 out of tangent 21. All right. So tangent of 21 and 2.8 divides answer 7.3 centimeter is PR. Now we got the value of PR. This is 7.3. This is 7.3, this is 7.1. It is a right angle triangle. We can easily find out PQ. So let me draw that triangle again. At right angle is R. Applying a Pythagoras theorem over here. So R is the right angle, and we have R to Q is 7.1, R to P, this is 7.3. We have to find the hypotenuse. What is PQ? So to get PQ square equals to 7.3 square plus 7.1 square, and the square root, we will get the answer. 7.3 square plus 7.1 square, and this is square root of 103.7, square root of answer, which is 10.2 meters. So these are in meters, not centimeters. This is PQ. All right, moving to part B. Calculate the acute angle KML. K, M and L. This acute angle we have to calculate. So to calculate that acute angle, we have the two sides. We can get the angles. Let me apply the law of sine over here. Sine of angle M over its side is 16.7 equals to sine 32 over the front side is 9.1. Let me solve for sine M. Sine of angle M, this is gonna be 16.7 out of 9.1 and times it by sine 32 degrees. Let me simplify. 16.1 over 16.7 and divides 9.1 and times sine of 32. All right, so what is M? M is equals to sine inverse of this, 0.97. Sine inverse of answer is 76.53 or 76.5 degrees is that angle, 76.5 degrees. Now for part C, the area of a triangle ABC, this triangle area is 62.89 centimeter square. Number 1, show that the triangle BAC, this is 28.4 degrees. We have to show this correct to one decimal place. So the area we have given, the formula for area of a triangle, we have the formula which is equals to half BC sine A. Right, so area of a triangle is half the two sides AB and AC, which is 21.5 and 12.3, and sine of angle A, sine of angle A, this is equals to 62.89. all right, so let me calculate what is sine of angle A. This is equals to 62.89 and divide by this whole thing. Let me simplify this whole thing first. 12.3 times 21.5 divided by 2. This is 132.225. 132.225. All right. Now 62.89 divided by answer. So angle A is equals to sine inverse of 0.4756. So sine inverse of answer is 28.4. Correct to one decimal place. Yes, this is equals to 28.4 degrees. Is proved. Now for the second part, calculate BC. This BC we have to calculate. Let me apply the law of cosine over here, because we have the two sides and the angle between them. We can find the third side by applying law of cosine. So the third side is BC, its square, that is equals to 21.5 square plus other side is 12.3 square minus 2 into 21.5 into 12.3 into cos of the angle 28.4 degrees. You can easily get that value. So cos of 28.4 multiply 12.3 multiply 21.5 multiply minus 2, add 12.3 square and add 21.5 square, which is, now BC is the square root of 148.3, its square root. So square root of answer is 12.17 or 12.2. This is 12.2 centimeters is the length BC. 12.2. Now for part 3, AB is extended to a point D. You can see AB, this line is extended to the point D such that the angle BDC is 90 degree. BD and C, this angle is 90 degree. Calculate BD. What is the length BD? We have to calculate this. To get BD, we have two steps. We have BC, which is 12.2. We don't know CD. All right. So if I consider this triangle ACD, this is a right angle triangle. All right. So this is angle is given, hypotenuse is given. If we can say sine of that angle is opposite over hypotenuse, we will get CD. All right. So we can say triangle A, C and D. We can say, so sine of angle 28.4 degrees is opposite, which is CD, over the hypotenuse, which is 21.5. Let me solve for CD from here. So CD is equals to 21.5 into sine of 28.4. Simplify sine 28.4 and times it by 21.5. 10.2. 10.23 centimeter. This is CD. We got 10.2. This is 10.2 centimeter. Now consider this triangle BCD, right angle triangle. We can find out the base by using Pythagoras theorem. Let me draw this separately over here. So this is B, this is D, and this is C. We have 12.2 here and this is 10.2 here. Applying the Pythagoras theorem, we have the hypotenuse is 12.2 square is equals to 10.2 square plus BD, its square. Now to get BD square, we have 12.2 and minus 10.2. And then at the end we are doing square roots. 12.2 square minus 10.2 square. This is 44.8. So what is BD? Square root of 44.8. Square root of answer. This is 6.69. So 6.6 centimeter is BD. Question number 8. The diagram shows two fair dice. Dice A are numbered 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 6 and dice B are numbered 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. A, number 1, dice A is rolled once. Write down the probability that it lands on number 6. So for dice A, there is only one 6 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outcomes. It lands on 6 once out of total outcomes are 6. So 1 out of 6. Number 2, dice A is rolled 1 to 50 times. Find the number of times it expects to land on the number 6. So when it is expected to land, so it means the probability of 6 landing on 6 multiply by the number of times, which are 150, which is 150. So we can say 1 out of 6 of 150, that is 25 times. All right. Now for part B, dice A and dice B are each rolled once. Both are rolled once. Number 1, find the probability that two numbers they land on have a total of 6. Let me make a table for this. For dice A and dice B, all the outcomes. Let me write this down over here. And the total of 6. All right, so we have the dice A, have a numbers 1 2 2 2 3 6, 1 2 2 2 3 and 6, right? As I have a less space, so I'm making a table on different paper. So for dice A and dice B, I have all the outcomes 1 2 2 2 3 6. So dice A is over here 1 2 2 2 3 and 6. All right, so for dice B is 2 3 3 and triple 4, 2 3 3 4 4 and 4. Let me add them up, because the question says two numbers that are land have a total of 6. Their total should be 6. So 1 times 1 plus 2 is 3. We have 4 4 5 5 and 5. Now adding 2 plus 2 is 4 5 6 7, 3 4 5. This is 5, this is 5, and 6 6 and 6. And then again adding 2, the same. We have 4 5 5 6 6 and 6. Again adding 2, 4 5 5 6 6 and 6. And then adding 3, so 2 plus 3, 3 4 5, 3 plus 3 is 6, 3 plus 3 is 6, and 3 and 4 is 7 7 and 7. And the last is 6 6 7 8, 6 7 8 9 and 9, and then 10 10 and 10. So this is a table. Now we have to find the probability when the two dice are rolled once. And okay, as you can see, we have given dice A and dice B are each rolled once. When they are rolled once, the dice A and the dice B, so the total number of outcomes for the both dice are 6 times 6, which is 36. Are total outcomes. If they are rolled twice, then we have to times 36 by 2 as well. But they are rolled they rolled once. Find the probability that each number they land on have a total of 6. Total of 6. So how many are total 6? So we have 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11. So 11 number are 6 out of 36 outcomes. I hope this makes sense now. So 11 are, we are getting the sum, the total of 6 out of the outcomes are 36. Now for the second part, find the probability that when the two numbers they land on have a total of 6, both numbers are 3. The total of 6, the total should be 6. So how many 6 are? We have 11 6. Now the total outcomes are 11. Are total outcomes, and both numbers should be 3. So for 3 and 3, we can check 3 and 3, 3 and 3. So only 2 are the possibility when the both numbers are 3 when they add up to get 6. So find the probability that two numbers they land on have a total of 6. Both numbers are 3. So there are only 2 possibilities out of 11 possibilities. Out of 11 possibilities, it means on the total of 6. So for 6, the total outcomes are 11, because 11 times it comes 6. Now for part C, dice B is rolled n times. Alright, the probability that on the nth roll it first lands on number 3 is 32 over 729. Find the value of n. So these are the outcomes for dice B, 2 3 3 4 4 4. Alright, so let's say the dice B is rolled n times. This is 1 time, this is 2 time, this is 3 time, 4 5 6 7 and up to so on till n times. This is n minus 1 time. All right, so on nth time, the probability that on nth roll it first lands on number 3, it will land on number 3. On nth roll, it is landing on number 3, and the rest of the roll not land on number 3. So from 1 to n minus 1, it is not landing on number 3, and on nth roll, it land on number 3. Now we have to find the probability of 3. What is the probability of landing on 3? So there are 2 3 out of 6. 2 3 out of 6, and which is equals to 1 over 3. And the probability of not landing on 3, this is equals to 1 minus 1 over 3. This is equals to 2 by 3. All right, now let me use this method. So not landing on 3 till 1 to n minus 1 roll, it is not landing on 3, and this is the probability of not landing on 3. So means 2 by 3, it is not landing on 3 till n minus 1th roll, and on the nth roll, it is landing on 3. Nth roll landing on 3 is 1 by 3, and it lands on 3 just one time on nth roll, and one time, and it is landing not on 3 on n minus 1 times, and this probability is 32 out of 729. I hope this makes sense now. All right, let me explain one more time. Dice B is rolled n times, so I just wrote down from 1 to n, and we know that the probability that the nth roll, it first land on number 3. On nth roll, it is landing on number 3. And with rest of the roll from 1 to n minus 1, it is not landing on number 3. I wrote down the probability of number 3 and not number 3. So means from 1 to n minus 1, it is not landing on 3. And on nth term, it lands on 3. So it means n minus 1th roll, you're getting the probability 2 by 3, which is not landing on 3, and on nth roll you're getting the probability of landing on 3, which is just one time it left, the first time it lands, and this is equals to 32 out of 729. Now let me simplify this. So this would be 2 over 3, its power is n, times 1 over 3 over 2 over 3, because we have n minus 1, so shift this power into the denominator, 32 over 729. All right, now we have to simplify. We have 1 over 3, this divides 2 over 3, that is going to be 1 by 2. 2 by 3 power is n, 1 by 2 times, and this is 32 over 729. All right, this is 1 by 2. So we have to do 2 by 1. 32 divides 729, and then times by 2 by 1. 2 over 3, its power is n, and this is going to be 32 over 729, and multiply by the reciprocal 2 by 1, and this is 64 over 721. 2 by 3 power n, and 64 over 729. All right, what is 64? 2 to the power 6 is 64, and 3 to the power 6 is 729. So this is 2 by 3, its power is n, and this is also 2 by 3, its power is 6. So comparing the powers, we have n equals to 6. Question number 9, the diagram shows a sketch of the graph of y equals to 4x cubed minus x to the power 4. The graph crossed the x-axis at the origin and at point A. The point B is the maximum point. Part A, differentiate 4x cubed minus x to the power 4. So this is 4. X cubed derivative is 3x square minus its derivative is 4x cubed. This is equals to 12x square and minus 4x cube. All right. Now for part B, find the coordinates of B. Since B is the maximum point of the curve, to get the maximum point, we have to put the first derivative equals to 0. So this is the first derivative. It means y prime should be equals to 0. So 12x square minus 4x cube, this is equals to 0. So let me take 4x square common. 4 times 3 is 12, and minus x equals to 0. So from here we have 4x square equals to 0, and we have 3 minus x equals to 0. So from here x should be equals to 3. and here x is equals to 0. That is the origin. When x is 0, y is also 0. This is the origin, and the other point B is coordinate, x coordinate is 3. When x coordinate is 3, what is the y coordinate? So the y is equals to 4x cube minus x to the power of 4. 4 times 3 cube minus 3 to the power 4. This is 27. So 3 and 27, these are the coordinates of point B, which is 327, and the origin is 0, 0. Now for part C, find the gradient of the graph at point A. First, we have to find the point A. As we have given that the graph crossed the x-axis at origin and at point A, it means there is some x coordinate for point A, but the y coordinate should be equals to 0. So the equation we have given, y equals to 4x cube minus x to the power 4. So you have to put y equals to 0 and solve for x. So from here, y equals to 0. So 4x cube minus x to the power 4 equals to 0. Let me take x cube common. We have 4 minus x equals to 0. So x cube equals to 0, or we can say 4 minus x equals to 0. So from here, x equals to 0 and x is equals to 4. Alright, so x equals to 0 is the origin and x is equals to 4 is the point. This is 4 and 0. These are the coordinates. Now we have to find the gradient of the graph at point A. So gradient is basically the first derivative. So we can say gradient is y prime. We have to find this at x is equals to 4. We have y prime from the first part, which is equals to 12 x to the power x square minus 4x cube, 4 cube. So let me simplify. 12 into 4 square and minus 4 power is 4. Negative of 64 is the gradient. Question number 10, part A. A, B, C, D, E, F is a regular hexagon. D, F. D to F, D to A, D to B are diagonals. Complete the following statements using three different triangles. Alright, triangle DEF. DEF, this triangle is concurrent to the triangle, obviously, BCD. B, C and D. This triangle and this triangle are concurrent, exactly the same. Concurrent means exactly the same. And which other two triangles are concurrent? This triangle and this triangle is concurrent. So the triangle DFA, this triangle is concurrent to DAB, DA and B. Now for part B. P and Q are the points on a circle with center O. P and Q, these are the points on a circle and center of a circle is O. T to P and T to Q are tangents of the circle from point T. So these are the two tangents, it means they have the same length. Alright, complete the following statements and reasons. In triangle OPT and OQT, these two triangles OP and OQ, both are same because each is a radius of a circle, right? OT is a common side, yes. Angle OPT is equals to angle OQT and this is 90 degree. Alright, and what is the reason? So these two angles are 90 degree because we know that tangents are always perpendicular to the radius of a circle. Tangent is always perpendicular to the radius. Alright, now triangle OPT and OQT are concurrent using the criteria. Okay, what is the criteria? It has a common side okay, side and angle, that is the criteria. So they have a right angle, right, and this common hypotenuse is common, OT, and one side is common, so RHS. The criteria is right angle, hypotenuse, and side. This proved that the tangents TP and TQ are equal. Tangents are always equal in length. Question number 11, we have f of x, g of x, and h of x. Find g of 3. So what is g of 3? Which is 3 minus 1 whole cube square. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 square is 4. Part B, find f of x plus 2, giving your answer in its simplest form. F of x minus 2 is 1 minus 3. Now x is replacing with x minus 2. This is 1 minus 3x and plus and negative times negative is positive. 3 times 2 would be 6. So 5 minus 3x. Sorry, 6 plus 1, that is 7. 7 minus 3x. Yes. Alright. Now for part C, find f inverse of x. So for this we have to put y equals to f of x. Switch the variables. X should be equals to 1 minus 3y. And let me solve for y. So x minus 1, this would be minus 3y, dividing by negative 3, dividing by negative 3, and from here y should be equals to x minus 1 over minus 3, or y equals to 1 minus x over 3. This is f inverse of x, taking negative sign common from the numerator and the denominator. Part D, gf of x minus g of f, g of x and f of x. Okay, this should be equals to the cubic polynomial. Find the value of each of a, b, and c. G f of x is 1 minus 3x minus g of x is x minus 1 square times f of x is 1 minus 3x. We have to solve this. G of 1 minus 3x is 1 minus 3x minus 1 whole square. X square minus 2x plus 1. Let me open the square of x minus 1 square. And this should be 1 minus 3x. So plus 1 minus 1 is cancelled. Negative square is positive. 3 square is 9. And we have x squared, 9x square. Negative sign. Let me multiply throughout the bracket with 1. So x square minus 2x and plus 1. And multiplying with negative of 3x. So minus 3x cube. And minus times minus, this should be plus. 2 times 3 is 6. X times x is x square. And with minus 3x. Let me simplify and open the bracket. So 9x square, we have minus sign. We have minus 3x cube. Wrote down the x cube term. 6x square and x square, that would be 7x square. And x terms are minus 2 and minus 3. So minus 5x and plus 1. Let me open the bracket now. So we have 9x square minus times minus is plus 3x cube minus 7x square plus 5x and minus 1. So arranging the terms, this would be 3x cube and 9 and minus 7, which is 2. So plus 2x square plus 5x and minus 1. So A, B, and C, these two are 2, 5, and 1. So these are the values of A, B, C. Now for part E, h of x minus f of x, giving your answer as a single fraction in its simplest form. H of x is 3 over x minus f of x is 1 minus 3x. You have to simplify this. Alright. Let me take an LCM. So 3 minus x is multiplying with 1 minus 3x over x. This is 3 minus x plus 3x square over x. So this would be 3x square minus x plus 3 divided by x in its simplest form as a single fraction. Now for part F, h of x to the power n. H of x is 3 by x. Its power is n. This is equals to 3x power 7. Find the value of n. Okay. 3x power minus n, this is equals to 3x power 7. 3 is cancelled with 3. So x to the power minus n equals to x to the power 7. When bases are same, we can compare the powers. So minus n equals to 7 and n would be equals to negative of 7. Question number 12. O is the origin 0, 0. A is the point 81. B is the point 25. Number A, write as a column vector number 1 OB. From O to B, we have to write as a column vector. So A point is 81 and B point is 25. So OB column vector is 25. Number 2, AB, which is OB minus OA. OB minus OA. What is OB, which is 25, and what is OA, which is 81. So 2 minus 8, which is minus 6, and 5 minus 1 is 4. 6 minus 4, minus 6 and 4. Now for part B, find the equation of the line AB. Give your answer in the form of y equals to mx plus c. So we have the point A and B. So first we have to find the slope m, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We have the point A, which is 81, and the point B, which is 25. So this is x1 y1, this is x2 y2. 5 minus 1 over 2 minus 8. So what is m? 4 over negative 6. 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, minus 2 by 3. Right, so we have an equation y equals to minus 2 by 3x plus c. To get the value of c, you can use the coordinates of A or the coordinates of B. Alright, so let me use A, which is 8, 1. You can use B as well. So y is 1. This is equals to minus 2 by 3 into 8. X is 8 plus c. Let me solve for c. So 1 plus 2 times 8 is 16 over 3. This is the c value. Okay, 1 plus 16 over 3. 19 over 3 is the c value. 19 over 3. So the equation is y equals to minus 2 by 3x plus 19 over 3. Now for part C, find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB. Give your answer in the form of y equals to mx plus c. So for perpendicular bisector, it means we have to find the slope of AB we got, which is equals to minus 2 by 3. And the slope of perpendicular bisector of AB, this is negative reciprocal. Negative times negative becomes positive, and the reciprocal is 3 by 2. That is the slope. And to get the value of C, we need the midpoint of AB. The midpoint of AB. Adding the x components and dividing by 2. The x components are 8 and 2. And adding the dividing by 2, and adding the y components, which are 1 and 5, and dividing by 2, we will get the midpoint. So 8 plus 2 is 10 by 2 and 6 by 2. 2 times 5 is 10, 2 times 3 is 6. 5 and 3 is the midpoint. Now to get the equation, we have y equals to m is equals to 3 by 2 x plus c. To get the value of c, plug the midpoints. So the y is 3 and the x is 5. So 3 equals to 3 by 2 into 5 plus c. Solve for c. 3 minus 3 times 5 is 15 over 2. This is c. So we have 3 minus 15 over 2 minus 9 by 2. C is negative 9 divided by 2. So equation of perpendicular bisector is 3 by 2x minus 9 by 2. Now for part D, the line AB meets y-axis at P. So AB, this line meets y-axis at point P. So it means it meet at y-axis, it means the x component should be equals to 0 and there is some y component. The perpendicular bisector of AB meets y-axis at Q. Find the length of PQ. Okay, let us visualize the situation. The line AB meets the y-axis at P. So let me draw this line AB. Connect A with B. This is the line AB. This is the y-axis. It meets y-axis at point P. This is the point P. So at point P, x is 0, there is some y. Alright. And the perpendicular bisector of AB meets y-axis at Q. So the perpendicular, there is a perpendicular bisector of AB. Let's say this is a perpendicular bisector of AB. It meets y-axis at Q. This is Q. The x is 0, there is some y. Alright. Now the question is find the length of PQ. This length we have to calculate. So we have the line AB, which is equals to y equals to minus 2 by 3x plus 19 over 3. So AB meets y-axis at P. This line AB, this meets the y-axis at point P. X is 0, we have to solve for y value. So when x is equals to 0, we have y is equals to 19 over 3. So the coordinates of point P are 0 and 19 over 3. Alright, now what is a perpendicular bisector of AB? So the line that is perpendicular to AB, we have y equals to 3 by 2x minus 9 by 2. Again, it meets y-axis at Q. It means x should be equals to 0. There is some y which is minus 9 by 2. And these are the coordinates of Q, which is 0 and minus 9 by 2. Now we have the coordinates of P and Q. Let's solve the length of PQ. So the length of PQ, it means the square root of the x component square, x2 minus x1 whole square, y2 minus y1 whole square, which is y2 minus y1 its whole square. Okay, minus 9 by 2 and minus 19 over 3, and the square root of answer 65 over 6, or 10.83 units. This is the length of PQ. So that was the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.